He has his own life choice just like they do. He's just exercising his rights as a normal heterosexual boy. Hey everybody, it's Fields, aka the Cinematic Noob, and man, do I hate chuds. So I know I said I probably wasn't going to get into it often, but the urge has become too strong. This isn't about your standard troll. Trolls suck too, but we're talking next level, like entering the chat on a regular basis, because Donald Trump has given them agency to do so. So now, via my segment, Hear Me Out, I'd like to introduce you to a little sub-segment called Reading Chud Comments, where we pick certain videos that are controversial to certain people, and we read their Chud comments and expose them and make fun of them. Shout out to Dusty Smith. He's the one who inspired me to do this. He does it better than anyone. I wish I could be as good at this as he is, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. I am firmly pro-human rights. Now, I may not be the most intelligent. I don't even claim to be super smart, but I do know that I think with a logical mind, and I use that logic to come to the aid of my fellow human beings. Some people on this planet are just terrible people. They like to see the world burn. They like to see others in pain. And I've just gotten to a point where I like to give them a dose of their own medicine. If they're going to be keyboard warriors, I'm going to be a keyboard warrior against them, you know? I just am tired of people thinking they can just say anything to anyone on the internet and not get backlash. And of course, they're expecting it. That's what they want. They want people to be angry. That's how they roll. But there are ways to challenge them, and I want to do it in the biggest way possible. So here's that attention they ordered. Each segment, I will pick a couple of posts, and I will just read through some of the most chud comments in each of the posts. Some of them I will address and give my opinion on. Some of them I will even read my replies to if we have a valid back and forth. But mostly I just want to put their social on the screen and show you just how racist or sexist or xenophobic or homophobic they can be. So without further ado, let's start this new segment off. I'm excited. So we all know with the political climate, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the LGBTQ community, and it's really ridiculous. I'll never understand the actions that are being taken against them. Really unwarranted. It's just as simple as minding your own business, in my opinion. Because our soon-to-be president has given these people such free range to say what's on their mind, they take that as an opportunity to be just straightforward. They're not even hiding it anymore. So we're going to start with a clip that I've seen a couple of times in recent months. It's actually pretty disgusting. What the people doing the video are just it's just so ridiculous, so unnecessary. Okay, so unfortunately I can't find that original video. We'll come back around to that one at another time. So we're gonna just try this one instead. This one's real short, kind of sweet, to the point, and we'll just dive right back into it. Oh wow, how incredibly based of that 10-year-old. He's such a man. He's a big man. You can just tell that his dad comes home with a beer every day and he's just like, what did my straight son do today? Did he rape some women? Did he kill some black men? Tell me what my manly son did today to make me proud. I'll tell you what your son did. He was being a chud. If you didn't notice, they're at a pride parade and the kid walks up and accepts a pride flag from one of the people handing out pride flags at the pride parade, and then immediately proceeds to drop it on the ground and stomp it out. So these LGBTQ hating people brought their little kid to the parade just so they could send him up, do that, and make a spectacle of stomping out the pride flag on the ground. Oh, you really showed them, didn't you? Your 10-year-old can stomp on a piece of fabric. How amazing. Now, what's especially sad about this is that, he's a kid. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He just knows that doing what he does is making his parents smile, When he does this stupid shit, his dad claps his hands or his mom gives a nod of approval. He's just like, yeah, the more I keep hating people, the more my parents will love. That's simple, right? I can keep doing that. But to no surprise, there is an entire community of chuds ready to applaud this young man for his bravery, for standing up against the LGBTQ, for showing initiative when others wouldn't, for fighting the good fight against the pride flag. Let's read some, shall we? Mbit57 says, applause for that kid. He has more backbone than most adults, because it takes a lot of backbone to stomp out a flag. One Mudman says, perfect. Give a medal and thank him for being normal. Zuela26 says, kid's a legend. He's really a legend. They'll be singing songs about him. Tbone._0 says, his parents raised him right. Teaching your kids how to hate other people. That's inherently right, isn't it? Jojoy_Royal says, black kid's gonna grow up all right. I'll tell you what. Don't forget to give him that Grizzly Adams nod of approval there, Royal. Robert Purvis77 had to chime in on the matter. He has his own life choice just like they do. He's just exercising his rights as a normal heterosexual boy. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Robert. I forgot, when my dad was teaching me how to be a man growing up, he made sure he distinctively told me the way to do that was to disrespect other people, disrespect their cultures, step on flags. Yeah, he said that was a key way to establish my dominance. Elkin 2A1 just wants to make sure this little man gets a high five for stomping out that flag, showing hate. Give me a high five for showing hate. Dwayne SFC24 wants to make sure that kid gets the option to burn them alive next time. He says, I'll give you a lighter next time. Death just takes it up a notch, doesn't Dwayne? Midge_Sky says, that kid represent many of us. I don't know who you talking about. He don't represent me. If you side with this terrible attitude, that's on you, but don't speak for the rest of us. Now, I want to make two things clear. We are starting off pretty light here. These comments are really not that bad. We're going to get into some really messed up ones as this series goes on, and we're going to call them out even worse. But also in sections, there are also a decent amount of people who come to the aid of, the people they're meant to harm. And there were a good amount of people in this post that were there to acknowledge their disgust in the kids' behavior. So, every once in a while, we're going to have posts like this where it's a good, even mix. In the future, I'll probably even start reading some of the good comments to balance out the bad ones so we don't just have all this negative energy. But for now, I'm really just kind of starting this off fast with these chuds. Before we move forward, I think it's important to note here that pretty much anyone can catch these hands at Fields of Gold Presents or Chud comments. If you're coming for women, if you're coming for men, if you're coming for black people, if you're coming for other people of color. No, I'm just kidding. If you are a white person and you are being attacked for an unjustifiable reason, I will defend you too. Human rights are human rights, and I truly believe in that. But that being said, unfortunately, a lot of times, it be my own people. And I hate that so much. We already deal with struggle. And then you're going to justify mistreating other people. I can't wrap my head around that. When any community who is dealing with oppression, which there are many of us, feel better about talking shit about another group of people, I cannot bring it upon myself to empathize with that. I just don't get it. This next video displays a concern that a lot of folks in the black community have. There is this really bizarre idea that I used to believe in myself, that there was some kind of feminizing of the black community. And don't get me wrong, there is definitely something to be said about making black men come off as weak or trying to break us down to make us feel weak by comparison. I just don't feel like this is a part of that plan, and if it is, it's really not how they're going about it. For instance, men wearing dresses in film. There are a lot of white men who wear dresses in film. I'm not going to sit here and say that these are things we should not consider, but I don't think that those are ruining the perception of the masculinity of the black man. There is also this weird conspiracy that we're gaying black men up, So every time there's a story about a black man who is trans or gay, a lot of black people like to act like it just started happening, like found the first gay black people. And I'm just like, bro, shut up. Case in point, this young person who had a transition and I guess is proud of that. They've had a successful transition and they just want to show off who they are, come out to the world and be who they are for the world. Who cares, right? Well, apparently a lot of black folks care. That's it. So what would a normal person do? Either congratulate them or, if they're upset by it, they just kind of scroll past, right? I guess, because it's not hurting it anyway. And I'll be the first to admit that I will jump on a post and I will say how I feel about a post. If the thing I'm commenting on inherently affects people physically, will hurt people, will hurt lots of people, I have to stand up for that. That is something I have to acknowledge. A person changing their sex has no bearing on my experience whatsoever. So, if it was the equivalent of that, I'd just scroll past. Simple enough, right? Oh no. Now, again, there was a lot of love in this community, a lot more than I expected the first time, but the Chuds are really chudding. Tygo Guapo, what the F says, no gym transformation, no spiritual restoration, no profitable change in personality. I wish to never come across this nightmare ever again. In Jesus' name, amen. Preach, brother. But also, stupid. Miss Boxing Baby _ the Queen says, sick. We in our last days. The ground is about to open up and swallow us whole, and people start changing their sex, having fun, being in the body that they feel most comfortable in. Nothing more the epitome of the end of the world than a person changing their sex. Gabriel's gonna blow his horn any day now. Beautiful Stu, I know his parents are disappointed. Maybe their or her parents are disappointed, but that's none of your business. And honestly, that's none of hers either. What matters is that she's happy. Again, I don't understand. Why do people give a shit? Late.G having a fear for this generation. He's so scared for this generation. I mean, it's not like trans people haven't existed for like the last 4 generations on paper. It's not like the concept of being trans hasn't existed since probably the beginning of human evolution as we know it. But he's feared for this generation because this generation happens to have the freedom to dress the way they want or actually use science to change their physical appearance the way they feel they need to. Fear for this generation. How about you fear for yours because your generation couldn't freaking do what made them feel more comfortable? They were always being oppressed by the previous generation, just like you're doing this one. Let them do what they want to do. It's not hurting anyone. Who cares? Wow. Sir Almeida says, Instagram needs to create a dislike button. Yeah, I agree. So I can dislike your stupid comment. Marcos.IK, I guess that's like surfer. I know. Stay safe out there, my boys. I do believe that it is very important to disclose that you are trans to your partner. Not just because it's a respectful thing to do and that there are plenty of people out there who will love you for being honest with them, but mainly for your safety. If you are not honest with a lot of these dudes, they are predisposed to be aggressive as a way of defending their masculinity. They feel like unless they do something aggressively violent, they are going to be considered gay, and they don't want to be gay. They can't be gay. So yeah, be careful out there, my boys. I'm talking to my trans folks mainly though. They're not the ones who are going to be killing anyone. It's Croc says, this is scary. Yeah, this is scary. Scariest thing I've ever seen. turn mx off dot underscore. I guess that's like sort of like turn me off dot underscore. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not for this type of shit, but it looks better as a girl in my opinion. Ha! So while this comment is a breath of fresh air compared to the other ones, there's two problems. One, who cares what you're for? Two, they insinuate that I guess if the person didn't look attractive to them, if they weren't conventionally attractive after their transition, they'd have a bigger problem with it. Oh boy, here we go. G underscore Joe 22. You're making the black community gayer and gayer. These people act like it's just the light switch came on and there were just suddenly gay black people. They never look at the numbers. They just pay more attention to the things they don't like. The more things they don't like, that's the thing that's happening more than anything else. Never mind the like majority of the population, over 99.99 something percent is not trans. You're gonna worry about that 0.05 or whatever the number is. I don't know the exact number right now, but I know it's very, very small that is trans. And you're gonna make a huge deal out of it. You're gonna make it as though they are invading you, like they are the problem, like you're being attacked. It's just like the Trump supporters who think that blacks are closing in on them, or Mexicans are closing in on them, or now Indians are closing in on them. You feel threatened by a very insignificant part of the population because they are living a life that you can't wrap your head around. No, they're not making the black community gayer and gayer. The black community's always had probably a finite group of LGBTQ members. They're just able to express themselves a lot more freely today without, being killed for it. Here we have these jackasses, the ones that are always just like, still a man. Is the goal to convince yourself that she's still a man so that you feel better about the fact that she looks good as a trans woman? I don't understand what your goal is. Mr. I also XXX, who's still an idiot. Oh, get a load of this guy. Osvaldo.u5. I want to fight this man. He's like the little the troll meme where it's like the mask is like an angry face, but then just behind the mask it's like angry, but he's crying tears. I want to fight this man. Like he's got the Arthur fist balled up next to his side. How dare you make me feel feelings? Like his balls started to swell up and his dick started to get hard, and he's just like, shit, I want to fight this man. Get your shit together, man. Get it together. Pathetic. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the first installment of Reading Chud Comments. I really look forward to doing more of these. I want to kind of get your feedback first to see how this rolls. If you feel like it's something that works, please let me know. I am excited about doing more again. I'm gonna do them regardless, but the feedback would really help me decide how often or whatever. This is what I do enjoy. I think we all deserve a fair chance at existing, without persecution and without being attacked by your fellow man. I can't do much right now, but if I can lend my voice to defending people who are otherwise being turned into pariahs by these really messed up people, then I'm gonna do what I can to expose that. So if you liked my video, subscribe, like, leave a positive comment. If you didn't, same, like, subscribe, leave your Chud comment in my comment section. Again, thank you for joining me for my first one, and I'll see you in the next video. If y'all have any ideas for the sign off, I'm still working on that. But again, Cinematic Noob, Avery Fields, out.